Right now I'm mixed emotions. I'm completely devastated and heartbroken, but in the same sense I've accepted the decision and I know that there is life after So You Think You Can Dance, and so I'm just going to look at the positives and look what I've achieved and hope something comes out of this. It was kind of confusing because I thought I was going home because of my injury, because I know I didn't dance to my ability that I knew I could. So I kind of went into Thursday night thinking, this is it, I'm going home, no one would have voted for me. And so when Jess got sent home, I was ecstatic because I'm like, top 8, that's amazing. And then I'm like, do I really deserve to still be here? And so that was kind of playing on my head a little bit, but I was really just happy, and I knew that if I'd got through Monday night, which was my pain at the worst, like that was the hardest day of my life, but since then my hips had been put back into place and so everything was going along well, so I was just so happy that I could try and get through another week, because I knew if I did last Monday I could have done this week. That night I'm just like, I have to be so mentally prepared for tomorrow, because I just knew what was coming up, and I just knew that if I showed a little bit of weakness that there was the chance they were going to kick me out. That was, to have just the thought that that could happen, I was just heartbroken, and then when the decision actually became reality, it was just like they'd ripped my heart out and I was beyond devastated. But the thing is, in this dance industry, you are met with so much disappointment all the time, so much rejection, and it was just the fact that I had no control over it, and it was my body that was letting me down, not my dance ability, not the voting. It was my body that just went nuts. And so that was frustrating for me to know that if this hadn't happened, I would still be in the competition. Yep. Oh, it definitely counts for something, and I'm the ballroom girl who's come the furthest in Australia. Like, no one else has made it this far, so I came in with that goal of proving that ballroom dancers don't have to be kicked out in the first 2 weeks. So I'm glad that I made that goal for myself, but it's still, yeah, I'm still devastated. But it's all good. Like, I am actually okay with the decision and all that. I say that I'm devastated, but it's just I will get over this, and yeah, it is. And I know I'm strong enough to get over this, and I know I'm strong enough to come back fighting, and that grand final I'm going to be dancing my butt off. Yeah. I found out Friday afternoon, so I'd gone to my first rehearsal for the day and I did the contemporary, and then after that they made me go to see a physio just to see how I was holding up, and I'd been told that everything's back in alignment, everything is okay, and it's actually going along well, but in the contemporary routine there are a few tumbles, and that is how I hurt my back in the first place. So they were worried that if I continued to do excessive tumbling that I would throw my pelvis back out and the same injury would occur. So they just had to check it out, and unfortunately the medic ruled that it was too risky for me to continue. So the executive producers came in later that night and told me that it had been decided that I was legally not allowed to continue in this competition. And it was, I kind of knew it was coming, but I didn't want to believe it, and I bawled like a baby. Like, I was just distraught and broken both mentally and physically, and had a massive cry that night, ate an entire block of chocolate and then some. I swear to God, I've eaten so much chocolate in the past few days, but the next morning I woke up and I kind of went, you know what, there are worse things that can happen to me. This is a competition, it's not life and death. I'm not seriously injured, I can still come back and dance. And so it's that perspective of me just going, you know what, this is bad and it sucks, but I'm only 21, I have my whole life ahead of me, and I have made it to top 8. This is something that will stick with me, and I can say I never got voted out. My mum was more upset than I was, and that's what I love about her. The best thing about being in So You Think You Can Dance would be getting to do what I love every day. This is a once-in-a-lifetime experience, and not many people get to dance 7 days a week and get paid to dance 7 days a week and get fans and get so much support for what you do. A lot of the time us dancers are just thrown in the background. We're not given the recognition we deserve, and this show is so important in the dance world. So for me to be a part of it and to prove that ballroom dancers aren't the weakest dancers, it's just amazing just to do what I love. Yeah, I don't really know where I'm going to go. I'm just going to wait and see what comes out of this. The thing is, this has made me realise this is what I want. This whole experience has shown that it doesn't matter whether you don't get the job, whether you are unemployed for a while, whether you're not the right shape, you're not the right look. So many things factor into being a dancer, but it has made me realise that's who I am and that's who I always will be, and I've just got to focus on proving to Australia that I am a dancer.